When Ibrahim emerged from the fire, unburned and serene, the world itself seemed to pause. The mountains whispered his name. The stars bowed in quiet recognition. He had walked through death and found life. Through disbelief, he had found eternity. But victory brought no pride to his heart. He knew the fire was not his to control, nor the miracle his to claim. The power belonged to the one who spoke to the flames and made them gentle. He left his homeland with neither army nor gold, only faith and the promise of God. The Pilgrim of Truth. Ibrahim traveled westward, his step steady, his heart anchored in revelation. His only companions were his wife Sarah, a woman of luminous faith, and his nephew Lut, who followed him in devotion. They crossed rivers and deserts, passing through the fertile lands of Ashur, the plains of Canaan, and the valleys of the Levant. Wherever he went, he built altars of remembrance, small stone mounds where he would stand, raise his hands, and proclaim, "My Lord is the one who created me, guides me, and provides for me. He is the one who gives life and causes death, and to him I will return." People gathered to hear him. Some mocked, others listened in awe. He taught them that the heavens and earth were not gods to be worshipped, but signs pointing to the one Creator, the eternal, unseen, yet ever near. He spoke softly, but with authority that came not from birth or crown, but from conviction. And so the faith of Tawheed, the oneness of God, spread once more upon the earth. The Covenant of the Chosen. One night Ibrahim stood upon a hill outside Hebron. The stars above shimmered like countless lamps in a boundless temple. He prayed long into the night until his body trembled with exhaustion. Then, in the stillness, the voice of the Almighty reached him. "Fear not, O Ibrahim, I am your protector, and your reward is great." He fell to his knees. "My Lord," he whispered, "how shall I know that your promise is true, that from me will come a people who remember you?" And the Lord said, "Look toward the heavens and count the stars, if you can count them. So shall your descendants be." Ibrahim wept, for he had no child, and both he and Sarah were old. Yet faith does not bargain with time, it trusts beyond reason. And so a covenant was made, that from Ibrahim's lineage would come the prophets and nations that bear the truth. He would be a father not of one people, but of many, united by faith in the one God. The test of patience, Hajar and the desert. Years passed, and still no child came to Ibrahim and Sarah. Sorrow touched Sarah's heart, though she never lost faith. Out of love and humility, she gave her handmaid, Hajar, to Ibrahim so that he might have offspring through her. In time, a son was born, radiant, strong, and full of peace. Ibrahim named him Ismail, meaning God has heard. For a time, joy filled their home, but the Almighty wished to raise his prophet higher through the fire of separation. One night, Ibrahim was commanded in a dream, "Take Hajar and the child to a valley I will show you, a place without harvest or water. Leave them there, for I shall make it a sanctuary." Ibrahim awoke with tears in his eyes. He obeyed without question, for faith is not comfort, it is trust in the unseen. He journeyed with Hajar and the infant across the burning sands of Arabia until they reached a barren valley surrounded by rocky hills. There was no tree, no stream, only silence. There, Ibrahim turned to his wife. "This is where the Lord has commanded me to leave you." Hajar looked at him, bewildered. "O Ibrahim, are you leaving us in this desolate land?" He could not answer, for his throat was tight with grief. Then she asked softly, "Has Allah commanded you to do this?" He nodded. Her face calmed. "Then He will not abandon us." Ibrahim walked away, each step heavier than the last. When he reached a distant hill, he turned back, raised his hands, and prayed, "O our Lord, I have settled some of my offspring in a valley without cultivation, near your sacred house, that they may establish prayer. So make hearts among men incline toward them, and provide them fruits, that they may be grateful." And with that he left, tears tracing lines in the dust of his beard. The miracle of Zamzam. Days passed, and the water that Ibrahim had left soon ran out. The sun blazed without mercy. The baby Ismail cried from thirst, and Hajar's heart broke. She ran from one hill to another, Safa to Marwa, searching desperately for help, her feet bleeding on the rocks. 7 times she ran, her cries echoing through the valley, "Is there anyone who sees us?"
Then, by the mercy of the Almighty, a miracle unfolded. At the place where Ismail struck the ground with his tiny heel, water burst forth, pure, cold, and unending. Hajar fell to her knees, scooping it with trembling hands, crying out in praise. "Zamzam," she said, "stop, stop, lest it flow away." From that spring, life returned to the valley. Birds circled above, and travelers passing by saw the sign of water and settled there. Thus the first seeds of Makkah were sown, a city born not from conquest, but from faith. The reunion. Years later, Ibrahim returned. He found his son grown into a young man, strong, noble, and obedient. The valley was alive now, the spring flowing endlessly. Father and son embraced, tears of joy and gratitude mixing with the sand. Ibrahim looked at the boy with pride and said, "O my son, I see in my dream that I must sacrifice you. Tell me, what do you think?" Ismail's heart did not tremble. "O my father, do as you are commanded. You will find me, if Allah wills, among the patient." The next morning they walked together to a distant hill. Ibrahim laid his son down, his knife trembling in his hand. The earth itself seemed to hold its breath. But when he brought the blade to his son's neck, the Lord called out, "O Ibrahim, you have fulfilled the vision." Indeed, this was a clear trial. He turned and found a ram standing nearby, sent by heaven. He wept in gratitude and sacrificed it instead. And the Almighty proclaimed, "We ransomed him with a great sacrifice and left for him among generations to come. Peace be upon Ibrahim." The foundation of the sacred house. Years later, the command came again, "Raise up the foundations of my house upon this valley." Together, father and son built the Kaaba, stone upon stone, their prayers rising with the dust of labor. "O our Lord, accept from us. You are the all-hearing, the all-knowing." When the last stone was laid, a light descended from the heavens, circling the structure, the same light that had once guided Adam and later Idris. It shone above the Kaaba, marking it as the center of remembrance for all time. Thus was established the holiest place upon earth, not by kings, but by obedience. The legacy of the covenant. The years of Ibrahim's life stretched long and fruitful. From him came 2 blessed lineages, through Ishaq in the west and Ismail in the east. From their descendants would rise a chain of prophets, Musa and Dawood, Isa and Muhammad, peace be upon them all, and through them the call of unity, the remembrance of the one God, would echo through ages and empires, enduring every storm. Epilogue: The Eternal Prayer. When Ibrahim grew old and his time neared its end, he stood once more beneath the stars. The same sky that had once been his question now became his answer. He looked upward and whispered, "O Lord, you are the one who never forgets. I have seen the fire turn to peace, the desert turn to life, and the blade turn to mercy. Truly, you are the most faithful." And so he returned to his Lord, the friend of the Most High, leaving behind a world forever changed by faith.